Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into the most powerful concept in trading, which is supply and demand. This is the second video in this mentorship program. If you missed to watch the first video, please consider watching the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notification bell so that when I post a new video next week, you can also get alert of that new video. Let's do a recap of last week. Last week we talked about how to read market structure and how to identify key areas in market structure. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last video. It was impactful and you learned from the previous video. So in today's video, like I said, I'm going to talk about supply and demand and why it is very important in forex trading. Please get your pen and paper, whatsoever writing material you use, because it is going to be very impactful. So what is supply and demand? You can simply say supply and demand are areas in the market that moves price. There are areas in the market that either pushes price up or it pushes price down. And in today's video, we are going to be combining it with market structures. So supply and demand are basically areas that moves price in the market. Areas where the big banks and financial institutions come in and moves price in the market. That's like areas where the big banks pump in their money in order to move the price of a particular currency pair up or down. So that is what supply and demand basically means. How do we identify these supply and demand zones in the forex market, adding with the breakout structure? Using these charts here, let me show you what supply and demand zones are here, or how to identify them. As we can see here, the market is on an uptrend in this chart, and there are several breakout structures. So there are zones that causes these breakout structures. There are hidden zones that causes this breakout structure. Now let's draw our demand and supply zones in the chart. So this is our number one demand zone. This zone triggered price to break out of this structure here. This zone here, just like saying our lows and our highs. And also this is also our demand zone. This zone triggered price to break out of this structure. And also this is our supply zone. This zone forced price to come down and create this demand zone. Whenever there is a supply, there's always a demand. Whenever there is a demand, there's always going to be a supply. So the two actually works together. This is still our demand zone, but this is not the recent demand zone. This is the most recent demand zone that caused this break of structure here. This is the most recent demand zone that caused this break of structure out of that previous supply zone. And the same thing happens here. This is a downtrend. This is our supply zone, and this is our demand zone, and this is our demand zone, and this is our supply zone. You might ask a question, why didn't I draw a supply zone here? Why did I choose to draw it? That's because most times price will always come and retrace these zones. This is still a supply zone though, but this is the current and recent supply zone that led to this breakup structure. So most times the market might face or retest or come back to this supply zone before going to retest the main supply zone, because this particular supply zone is an inner supply zone to this market move that led to this breakup structure. So this was where price gathered momentum to break this structure. That was the last place. This is another supply zone, and this is our demand. So the same thing applicable to this image here. Look at, this is our supply zone, and then this is our demand zone. price moved, but this is the recent supply zone that led to the breakout of this structure here, this low. That price moved here, it rejected at this demand zone and then formed another supply zone here that was able to push price down. So you have to always watch out for all these hidden zones. These are zones of liquidity. This is where money is resting, because the market will always come to play the money is here, and there are most stop loss that are always here. So we need to always watch out for these zones, because these zones matters a lot in the market. Look at here. Now what can we see here in this other side? This is a demand zone. Now look at what happened. This demand zone led to the breakout of this structure here, breakout and formed a new high, creating another demand zone. So that is that for that particular image. The same thing here. So let's go into the live chart in order to spot our supply and demand zone. This video is not going to take much time, because I just want to highlight to you guys supply and demand zones. Okay, looking at the live chart, this is a downtrend. So this is a break of structure, and this is our demand zone. But this wasn't the actual demand zone that led to the price breaking out of this structure. This was the current demand zone that led to the price breaking out of this structure. And wherever in order to spot a supply and demand zone correctly, there must always be, like, should I say, a candle. Maybe if it is on a downtrend, the market is going on a downtrend, there must always be a bullish candle, one bullish candle that appears in the middle of that move. That candle can always repel the market from going back up, or reject the market from going back up. Sometimes these candles are hidden. Because I'm on a lower time frame, that's why you can see this candle here. But if I should go on a higher time frame like the 4 hours and 1 hour, probably you might not really see this candle here. It might be a very long movement down. So in order to spot supply and demand zones, you would always, if you can't see it on a particular time frame, you have to zoom or go down lower to a more lower time frame in order to spot them, because they are always hidden most times. So this is still a break of structure, and this is our supply zone here. This was the last zone that moved price to break out of that structure. I know you guys might say, oh, why didn't I draw it here? Because this is not the zone that moved price. This is the last zone that moved price to break structure here, and that's why you saw the market came back and retested at that particular zone. Same thing that happened here, retested here. Now let's check out another example. This is also a break of structure, and this is the last zone, demand zone or supply zone either, that moved price to break out from here. And the same thing goes on and on and on. So now let's look at a bullish chart, like an uptrend. Let's spot our supply and demand zones. Okay, we are trying to find, okay, let's use this chart here. So in this chart here, this is a break of structure, and then where is the last zone that moved price to break that structure? This is the last zone that moved price to break out that structure. That is another block, and in subsequent time we would be talking about what other blocks are. This is also a break of structure. This is also a break of structure, and then this is a demand zone that led to that break of structure. And you see price came and retested it, and this is also an order block. This red candlestick here, that is an order block. The next video I'll be dropping here is gonna be on order block, so that you can end it with this supply and demand zone video, so that you get a clearer understanding, because you might not really understand the supply and demand zone well without knowing what an order block is. So in our next video we will be talking about what an order block is in using smart money concept and how to trade from an order block. So moving forward, this is still a breakup structure, and this is a demand zone. There is an hidden demand zone here. You can't see this zone because we are on a 30-minute time frame. If I should zoom further to the 15-minute, you will see a hidden demand zone here. This is a candlestick, and this is the wick of that candlestick. Now, most of us will know what candlesticks are and how to read candlesticks. So this is a wick of these candlesticks, and in the wick of these candlesticks there is a rejection here. That's meaning that while buyers were trying to buy this candle up, the sellers tried to also push it further down, and it had to close at this level. It had to close at that level, and that level looks like a level that price rejected. If you should zoom into the lower time frame, price rejected at that level before finally breaking out. So if we should zoom down, you will see that this is a zone right here before price finally broke out from here. So let's try to zoom out to the 15-minute time frame and see, so that we are sure of what we are doing. Okay, and this is the 15-minute time frame. Okay, we are not still seeing it clearly, but we've seen that there is a rejection here. There's a candlestick that is being rejected at this point. So let's zoom again to the 5-minute. We should see it more clearly there. Okay, this is the 5-minute. Where is the chart? Where is the chart? Finding the chart. Okay, I would have to pause this video so that I can locate our chart. Okay, we located our charts. Finally located it. So have you seen that there is a bearish candlestick there where that price reacted in the 30-minute time frame? So there was a rejection, and that place became a demand zone that moved price upward to break this structure over here. So that place became a zone in the future that moved price here, rejected price from coming down here, and moved price upward. So we can still call this an order block, but that is not a valid order block. In next video, I will talk about an order block and how to identify a valid order block, because most times people might mistake this. For people that know what order blocks are, they might mistake this place for a valid order block. That is a demand zone. That is a demand zone that reacted to price. So in next video, we will be talking about order blocks, and in conjunction to this supply and demand zone video. So I don't want to keep you guys longer than necessary. We've come to the end of this video. I hope you learned a lot from this video, what supply and demands are. And next video, we will be talking about order block. We will be reflecting back on supply and demand and how you can understand supply and demand with order blocks. So that is what we'll be talking about in the next video. Thank you for staying throughout this video. I really appreciate. Please like, share, and comment on this video, and also drop your questions where you don't understand or what you don't understand about this video. Drop it. I'll be there in the comment section to respond to your questions. Thank you for staying throughout this video. Please subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notification bell, so that when I drop the new video on order blocks, same time next week, when I drop that new video same time next week, you will not miss out. So you get notification of that video. Same time next week, we will be talking about order block. Thank you very much for staying all through the video. My name is Ememiya. Bye.